Have you ever really thought about what your phone does the second you turn it on? I mean, before you see your home screen, before you connect to Wi-Fi, it has this invisible, super high-speed conversation with the world. It's kind of like a secret language, all happening in the blink of an eye. And today, we're going to decode it together. So, what is that very first step? It's not looking for your Wi-Fi, it's not loading your apps. No, before any of that can happen, your phone has to do something way more fundamental. It just listens. It's listening for a very specific, invisible signal that is, believe it or not, all around us. This whole thing is called the boot sequence, and you can think of it as a four-step orientation for your phone. First, it has to find the network's heartbeat. That's a signal called the MIB. Then it needs to get the rules, and for that, it talks to something called SIB1. After that, it gets its toolkit from SIB2 so it can finally talk back. And only then can it start to learn the area and figure out its new neighborhood. Okay, so first things first, finding that network heartbeat. Just imagine your phone waking up in a completely dark and silent room. Its very first job is to find some kind of signal, anything that tells it about the basic physics of its new environment. Well, that foundational signal is the master information block, or MIB for short. So what exactly is the MIB? It is literally the heartbeat of the cell tower. It's constantly pulsing out the absolute most fundamental information. You gotta understand, without decoding this heartbeat first, your phone is completely deaf and blind to the network. It is the absolute ground zero. And this heartbeat is unbelievably fast. I mean, check this out. The MIB is broadcast every 40 milliseconds. That's 25 times every single second. The network is basically screaming, "I'm here, hey, here are the basics," over and over, just to make sure any new phone can find it almost instantly. So what is it screaming? Well, just the bare essentials. It's answering a few key questions like, how wide is the communication highway here? What time is it on the network's own special clock? And hey, how many antennas is the tower using? This is the absolute rock bottom minimum information it needs to understand anything more complex. Right, so once your phone has locked onto that heartbeat, it's time to learn the rules of engagement. This means it's got to meet the network's manager, which we call SIB1, and then get a toolkit, SIB2, so it can actually start communicating back. So you might be wondering what the difference is here between the MIB and this new thing, SIB1. SIB, by the way, just stands for System Information Block. Think of it like this. If the MIB is the raw, constant heartbeat, SIB1 is the manager. It's way more detailed, it checks your phone's credentials, and, this is crucial, it acts like a master schedule, telling your phone where and when to find everything else it's going to need. SIM1 is basically a bouncer for the network. It answers four really important questions for your phone. First, am I on the right network or am I roaming? Second, am I even allowed to try and connect right now? Third, is my signal strong enough to be a good citizen on this network? And finally, the big one, where's the schedule for all the other info I need? It's the real gateway to the network. So, our phone has found the heartbeat, and now it's gotten the rules from the manager. What's next? Well, now it needs the tools to actually do the job. After it decodes SIB1, it immediately starts looking for its toolkit, which is System Information Block Type 2, or SIB2. And this is the part that changes everything. This toolkit is what allows the phone to go from just listening to actually talking. SIB2 has the rules for saying hello for the first time, the exact frequency and power settings it needs to use to talk back to the tower, and it also has a little warning system telling the phone to just back off for a bit if the network is super congested. Okay, so now the phone can connect and it can talk, but it needs to think ahead, right? I mean, you're not going to stand still forever. The very next step is to map the neighborhood, to learn about all the other cell towers nearby so it can move between them without ever dropping your call. So, using a whole series of other SIBs, the phone starts building this complete local map. It finds out about other LTE towers on its current frequency and on different ones. It even looks backward in time, mapping out older 3G and 2G towers just in case it needs a fallback. And for modern phones, this is the really cool part. A special block called SIB24 gives it a list of nearby 5G towers, getting it ready for the future. So we've covered connecting and moving, but the network also has this community bulletin board, you could call it. It provides all sorts of information for special features that aren't needed for a basic connection, but are really important for specific services. Yet this bulletin board is responsible for a huge variety of things you might recognize. It's how your phone gets those Amber Alerts. It's how it can be set up for vehicle-to-vehicle communication. It even tells your phone when it's a good idea to hand off a connection to Wi-Fi instead. It's this whole rich ecosystem of specialized info.
So let's just put it all together. This entire process, from finding that very first MIB heartbeat all the way to mapping out 5G neighbors, is like a rapid, incredibly complex, and perfectly choreographed invisible handshake between your phone and the network.
And this chart really shows the whole flow. It all starts with the MIB, that essential heartbeat pulsing every 40 milliseconds. Then comes SIB1, giving the access rules and the schedule. SIB2 hands over the radio toolkit, and from there, all the other SIBs fan out to build that crucial map of all the neighboring cells from old-school 2G all the way to 5G. And here is the most amazing part. This entire sequence, this whole dance, from a state of knowing absolutely nothing to being fully aware of its surroundings and ready to connect, happens in a fraction of a second. It's an incredibly efficient and complex process that runs every single time you power on your phone. So the next time you turn on your phone, you'll know about that lightning-fast handshake it performs to join the global network. And it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other invisible conversations over Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and who knows what other frequencies are happening all around you right at this very moment?